Hello everybody, welcome to this video. My name is Erika Fonseca and today I'm going to talk about the differences between formative assessment and summative assessment. First of all, I'm going to give you the definition of each one. Formative assessment. The goal of formative assessment is to monitor or to evaluate students' learning, to provide ongoing feedback. It means when the students participate in classes, they are showing their knowledge about what they learned during the classes of the topic of that day. This feedback can be used by instructors to improve their teaching and by students to improve their learning. Here we have some examples of formative assessment. When the students draw a concept map in class to represent their understanding of a topic. When the students submit one or two sentences identifying the main point of a lecture. And the next example is when they research information and they are doing their own feedback. Here we have the summative assessment. The goal of summative assessment is to evaluate the students' learning at the end of the unit, or it can be of the course or level, by comparing it against some standard. It means that the knowledge of the students is going to evaluate at the end. They can make a presentation or the teacher can make a quiz for them. Summative assessments are often high stakes, which means that they have a high point value. Here we have some examples of summative assessment. When they make a midterm exam or a final exam, when they present a final project, when they make a paper, when they present a senior recital. Now we're going to see the differences between formative assessment and summative assessment. Like you see in the image, the formative assessment is in the middle of the class. They are going like a complete in the middle of the class. And the other one is when they present the final results. The formative assessment, the purpose of formative assessment is to monitor or to evaluate students' learning during the classes. It means when the students participate in classes, sometimes the teacher makes a question and the students can answer it. The purpose of summative assessment is to evaluate the students at the end of the unit of the quiz. It can be in sometimes presentations or a quiz or a test. The formative assessment, it is flexible and dynamic. Why it is dynamic? Because sometimes teacher makes a game in the middle of the classes and all the students participate. And the summative is formal assessment. It is structured and pre-planned. Informative assessment doesn't have a grade. It doesn't have a grade, and sometimes it discourages the student because even that they answer the question in a correct way, the teacher doesn't put a grade. On the other hand, summative assessment, it has a grade, and it is really important because sometimes of the student depends of the grade, and it can pass the level or he or she can't pass the level. Formative assessment, students show their knowledge when they are participating in the middle of the class. Like I told you before, they have conversations, they have their own ideas in the middle of the class, and the summative assessment, students show their knowledge in the exam, quiz, or essay. The formative assessment is a continuous practice during the class. That's why we use the feedback. And the summative assessment is episodic. It's usually at the end of the class, sometimes at the midterm as well. The formative assessment is a qualitative process. Why we say that it's a qualitative process? Because the students show their emotions in the class. There are some students that they don't participate in class because they are shy, and they have good grades because they study at the end of the unit. And the summative, it is a quantitative process because they get a grade. It can be 10 or A, B, C, depends on the teacher, how they qualify. The formative assessment incorporates title and specific content areas. It can be just one topic, and the summative assessment is different. It incorporates complete chapters or the content areas. It can be just 2 topics or more than 2 topics, depends on the teacher. As a conclusion, it can be summarized that formative assessment enables the student to exhibit what they are learning and how they are learning. And summative assessment are the outcome which enables them to understand what they have learned in the end. This is the sources that I found. All the information that I just gave you, you can find here. And thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you like it.